Next is our Superintendent's Report, so I'll turn it over to Dr. Hefner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. This evening, first of all, I'd like to introduce the newest member of our staff, Dr. Allison Jakes, who is now our Chief Human Resources Officer. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jakes to our staff. She is a person who has a long lineage of experience here in District 5, being an Irmo High School graduate, and she has worked in our system before, both at Crossroads and Irmo Middle School. She later became principal in a district nearby where she was named State Principal of the Year. And from there she went to the State Department of Education, where she worked in a couple of roles, and from there to the University of South Carolina, where she's been a professor, and we are so glad to have her back here serving as our human resources person. So welcome aboard, Dr. Jakes. And this evening, I hate for you all to have to be relocated, but I think we will have to be relocated twice given the setup of this particular facility. I just want to review some of the major findings from our recent advanced ed study. So if we could relocate. I know all of our board members were present for our external review exit report on, was that week before last? Time gets away from me, just a few days ago. But I think it's very important for the record that we indicate what the major points that were made with regard to our review, which came about April 19th through the 22nd. And so this was our effort for reaccreditation, which comes about every 5 years after we got our initial accreditation in 2010. And Advanced Ed is an international protocol for institutions committed to systemic, systematic, and sustainable improvement. It works to build capacity of the system in its schools and stimulates to stimulate and improve effectiveness and efficiency throughout the system. So the external review is a diagnostic process to stimulate and guide continuous improvement with a focus on three things: impact of teaching and learning, capacity of leadership, and use of resources. So we want to talk about the major findings in all three of those areas, starting with the impact of teaching and learning. Our classrooms were visited, obviously not all, but many throughout the system were visited. The highest score that could be given by a rater was a 4. And you will notice we had outstanding ratings in all 7 areas, and we were above the international average in every single area where we were observed. The powerful practice that they noted within teaching and learning was that our district builds capacity through providing opportunities for all staff members to participate in a rigorous, continuous program of professional learning that is aligned with the system's purpose, direction, and is based on the needs of the system. I think this is huge because when the district got its initial accreditation 5 years ago, this was one of the areas that we had to show improvement. And at that time, the district made a commitment to system-wide efforts with regard to professional development, specifically with regard to PBIS, Positive Behaviors Intervention System, RTI, Response to Intervention, and data teaming. And they found that clearly this was a real strength of the system throughout all of our schools. In fact, it was cited as a powerful practice, and again, the organization does not have to cite any powerful practices, so it's significant when they find something that is worthy of replication internationally. An opportunity for improvement they gave us was that we would look at we were encouraged to develop, implement, and evaluate a process where teaming between students and adults exists, where every student is known and mentored by at least one adult. And again, this is an opportunity for improvement, nothing we have to report on. And again, they think that there are many good things we're doing there, but it's something that we can certainly focus on and show improvement in the years ahead. Now, the second, in terms of the improvement priority, which is something that we will work on and have to give a report on in 2 years. And again, under this process, they are obligated always to tell us things that need improvement. And one of the 2 things that they gave us that we have to report on is designing, implementing, and evaluating consistent grading policies, processes, and procedures across all grade levels and courses that clearly define common criteria for students' attainment of content knowledge and skills. So you'll be hearing us talk a lot about that. It will have policy implications as we come back to the board looking at the whole issue of grading. The second area, capacity of leadership. We were cited for a powerful practice, which is one that our board needs to stand and take a bow about because they saw that we have effectively empowered the community through unique partnerships with parents and other stakeholders who support the vision and mission of the school system. They were very impressed with the multitude of advisories we have and how effectively they work throughout the system. And again, this is huge and represents a great step forward from where we were 5 years ago. And so, board, we thank you so much for your putting into place those practices which are now worthy of really international replication. The third area, use of resources. Here, a powerful practice is that we've established practices for attracting, recruiting, and retaining high-quality professionals which promote and support the mission, vision, the system and individual schools. I think it's most notable that they see that we excel in terms of the quality of employees that we have throughout our system. So that's a great affirmation for our district that they cite this as a powerful practice. In terms of our priority, the second priority we have is one that comes in this area, and it's one that we will also have to do a report on, and you will hear us talking about in the next 2 years, 12 months to 2 years. Developing a strategic resource management plan to ensure alignment of the system's purpose and direction, identify goals and objectives critical for continuous improvement, including fiscal and capital resources, effective administrative alignment and communication patterns, instructional and support staffing needs, and ensure all initiatives are periodically and systemically evaluated through the lens of student achievement. So that's the other big area in addition to grading that you will hear us talking about. So at the end, we got the recommendation that the external review team recommends to the Advanced Ed Accreditation Commission that our district earn the distinction of accreditation by Advanced Ed. We give our thanks and appreciation to all who were involved. It was certainly throughout our entire system, but I certainly would issue a special thanks to Dr. Christina Melton, who led our efforts with regard to preparing us for the Advanced Ed visit. So that concludes the superintendent's report. Any questions? Before we go to the next item, I would like to publicly commend our information office, Mr. Bounds and Amy White, who was here earlier, and Barrett Isbell and all the others who were involved. This past Friday, we had a huge event honoring volunteers here in our system, a big community appreciation event attended by approximately 300 people. And again, I think that's a direct reflection of what the Advanced Ed Committee saw when they commended us for the engagement we have here in our community. In fact, I know of no district where the community involvement exceeds the involvement here. And one person who we would like to recognize publicly this evening is Dr. Barb Waldman, who is here with us, as she always is, who received the Superintendent's Community Service Award for her years and years of dedication to our school district. She's been involved not only in the IRMO cluster, where she's served on probably every school improvement council and PTO where she's been a parent, but she has also been a long-term advocate with Page 5, the organization which looks out for gifted students in our district. And I don't think that I have to tell you how faithful she is to supporting all the activities of our district, including being here present for board meetings. So we thank you, Dr. Waldman, for all that you do on behalf of the district. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you very, very much, and I have to agree. It was a wonderful event. It was so exciting to see all those volunteers. I mean, 300 volunteers and staff people and principals, but that is just truly amazing. And they were having a grand time. So we have a lot of winners in this school district.